Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and I'm here with Yana's latest collection. This is Yana's Poppies collection. It's a beautiful collection. It's a small collection, but she packs a beautiful punch. This is a gorgeous collection to make all sorts of beautiful cards, all occasion too. Alrighty crafters, so we're going to take a closer look at this, but before we take a look at these beauties, don't forget that you can enter to win the Advent Calendar and the 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent Calendar, along with the Stitch Along add-on kit. You have until September 15th to enter to win. I will link the entry form below in the description box. No purchase necessary. Open to US and Canadian residents. Good luck, crafters! Also, clearance has an additional bonus sale this week. So I will be putting a link below for clearance so you can see if any of the goodies that's in your wish list on sale already, plus an additional sale on the way out. Best time to get it. Alrighty, crafters, now let's take a look at Yana's Poppies. Let's get started. So this is Yana's Poppies collection. 3 items. It's a small collection, but it packs a big punch. There is the Poppy background BetterPress plate, solid plate. You can press this or glimmer this. Also, there is a stencil for it. You aren't able to purchase the stencil separately. So if you are interested in the Poppy background, you have 2 options. Poppy background by itself, done, or this version. There's no coming back later and going, oh, I want the stencil. You have to purchase it as a bundle, okay? And then there is Yana's Poppy die set. 4 3/4 inch wide by 3 1/4 inch tall. Super duper pretty collection. Just adds to more of the fun and beauty and elegance. So let's start off with this Poppy background. So the Poppy background is reminiscent of Yana's recent Peony background. This was a runaway hit. I watched her video talking about this collection. She can't go ahead and get a stencil for this one. You have to do it at the time of production. So this time, based on viewer comments, that's when she decided to do the stencil. Because with this stencil, you can press it, use a stencil, that's what I did, or you can also glimmer it and then use the stencil, which is easier to use because the paper is now smooth. This version here, I didn't have much trouble with it anyway. I watercolored this one and I just ink blended and then cut it out. Cotton card panel on both versions of it. Look how pretty it is still. Just gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. It's another one of these beautiful reverse BetterPress plate, meaning what would normally be white space here is now filled in with ink. So this is porcelain cotton card, black BetterPress ink. So I do have a card ready to go. To ink it up like this, I am using the full size black BetterPress ink pad, okay? I'll put the direct link below just for that pad. Black is the most popular color you'll be using in BetterPress. At least that's the one I use 90% of the time. I'll use black. And the full size pad really does a good job of inking this up. Get yourself a re-inker too. The pad, whether it's small or large, does dry up because this is a lot of inking. Everything that's solid here on the plate, you have to do the tap and turn and see full black. Now, I did clean my plate immediately after pressing. That's why it's back to color. But I had a lot of fun with this. This is just an example of a future card that I have, which now I can bring on the stencil. This is a 5-count stencil. Numbers are in the lower left corner, and you do get registration marks here just to keep it aligned. So this is gorgeous. Poppy background. Now let me show you my actual card with Poppy background. So I'm going to keep this here, and you can see it here. This is also pressed out, completely different way. So I stuck with this one for my card example. In the background for the solid detail, which was a little bit harder than I thought because it was hard to see the ink on the plate, I use Altenew Fresh Dye ink in a green spruce colorway. And so this is green inks on porcelain cotton card. Then I use the stencil for the flowers, yellow ink, purple ink. Then I also came on with some black acrylic paint because I wish there was a splatter black, like I would have splatter white. This is the opaque watercolor. I like a black version, but I came on with acrylic and did black splatter. In the centers, where it was just this weird looking green, I just put some black stickle in the centers. Then I wanted to bring in a wax seal. So to finish my card example here, so I'm just keeping this beside it. So you could see that I could have done this with the same exact thing, but I'm liking the touch of the green, yellow, purple. I decided to bring in seal twine in brushed gold cardstock. You cut this out twice, wrap it around. And then here for my sentiment, I'm using, and I can't find the package to show you. This is a 3-pack set. It's called 3-pack all occasion. I'm putting the proper name here on the screen. This is a fabulous wax seal stamp. You don't even have to use a metallic marker to highlight it. You can see it clear, all the detail. Love that for you. This is one of those purple wax beads. Can't remember the color. If I find which one, I'll put it here on the screen as well. I was just having a ball doing a lot of wax seal because crafters, over to the side, actually, I have it. There are 11 new wax beads, and then I did this one. So that's why I'm not sure the color, because I was focusing more on the new wax beads. 11 of them. It's a lot, but it's all good. I love all the options. I could easily make this over here. I could do it as black and white too. Or I could come in like this one, blend on top of this. This started out as black, and then with the blue, I just blended over it. So there's a little bit of blue ink on top. So I could do the same treatment here for this. I might. And you notice wax seal again. I know. I love my wax seal. Alrighty. So now to finish the card, I came in with 2 items. And you're seeing a Halloween card over to the side purposely. You're seeing 2 items on this card, which is exactly what I used on this card. Isn't that interesting? So this one is more like an A6, 4.5 by 6.25. This one is an A2, but you notice that I'm using fresh pick labels and tag dies. Largest one is an A2, 4.25, 5.5 inch. I use a smaller one here to cut a window. This one I popped up. This one I didn't pop up. I just layered the cutout piece on top of that base. For the embossing folder, and it works. He's working for Halloween and it's working here. I tell you, this was winner. This is from this month's Kit Club. I will link my Kit Club video here. This is the 2D hand-drawn lines embossing folder. Love, 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 love. 5.5 inch wide, 8.5 inch tall. And I think it is beautiful both for Halloween and for Yana. All year round winner, right? So super pretty. So then I glued this on top of that base. And then I wrapped the brushed gold seal twine around and then stuck my little wax seal stamp, and card is done. So pretty. Love this. Great job, Yana. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful. Loving this poppy background. I have to look at the name because I keep mixing it up with poppy peony. I know it's easy to mix up. So I have to look at the name for a second like, what's the name of it again? Poppy background. It'll stick. It just takes time for it to stick. But if you want to get this stencil, which it's always better to get the stencil, because if you glimmer this, which it would be gorgeous glimmered too. If you are going to glimmer this, you're going to have to cook your glimmer hot foil plate, because all of this is going to be like a solid plate. So all of this would be filled with whatever your hot foil roll is. So if it's gold, all of this would be gold. Then you'd get these little details, and then bring in the stencil to color it. Or that time, if you glimmer it, then you could use your alcohol markers, okay? Olo markers, Copic markers. You get the card done quicker if you have the stencil, because that's just ink blending, okay? Super, super pretty. Very easy ink blending too. All right, next, continuing the poppy trend. Look at that. Loving the die, right? I have 2 cards here. One of them, this is Yana's card. No, she didn't send it to me. This is from the Weekender workshop. This is Yana's poppy die set that I talked about. This was cut out with, I'll put the name here. I think it's metallic gold. I can't remember the cardstock. It's Spellbinders cardstock. I just always tend to go with the brush gold. It's not from the new treasured cardstock. This is from before, and we die cut that out and layered it up. This is Copic coloring, and we did little flicks and started off with light pink and then brought in a darker pink, and then we brought on a pencil. So there's a lot of details going on in here. If you attended the Weekender workshop, you can watch the replay and then recreate this card as many times as you wish. I wanted to show you, that's Yana's version. This is my sped up version. Because when she brought in the pencil, I was like, oh gosh, I gotta go find a color pencil. Where are my Prismacolor pencils? In the background here, we did an A2 card base ink blended with a lot of these greens. The sentiment was different because the sentiment was a stamp set that we received in the Weekender, but I wanted to elevate. So then I brought in my favorite, You Are Everything sentiments. This is one that you can press once or glimmer once, die cut it once. I did Thanks for Just Being You. So super pretty. I love this set still. And I think this with all of Yana's goodness. So if I did not use this here, I would have definitely brought on this and then I would have skipped the sealed twine. It would have still worked out. This is glimmered on black cardstock with matte gold hot foil roll. Card number 2, where I sped up my process a little bit. I ink blended the die cut pieces, but I think it's still a gorgeous card. Ink blended green here. And then these bits, the inner bits, I ink blended with yellow. I'm using here Alta New Fresh Dye ink. In the background, I came on with an embossing folder, which I'm so loving her flowers against that background because this has a nice stucco wall look, which is called Plaster. This is by Simon Hurley, his birthday collection. It is a 3D embossing folder, so you would use universal plate system, 5.5 inch wide, 8.5 inch tall, filled with all sorts of nooks and crannies and ups and downs and just nice texture. You can feel it. This is great too for masculine cards, this plaster embossing folder. Then I finished it with a sentiment from Yana. I loved her Let's Celebrate Sentiments BetterPress plate. Large sentiments that you can press or glimmer. Here you're seeing it glimmer. White hammer mill cardstock, dark gold satin metallic hot foil roll. And then you can cut it out with the coordinating die. I love this set. One day I get into all of this too. I love a coordinating die for ease. You can watch Yana's YouTube channel because she shows you how to do this. Even on a different styling of the same style of die, she'll show you how to color it. I'm so happy for this card. I just wanted to show you again if you haven't seen it before. And then this one. Have fun even with the die set. So fabulous. Okay, crafters, thanks so much for watching. Everything will be detailed and linked below. Yana, you did it again. 3 pieces. Actually, it's really 2. Just one of them is a bundle. So 2 items and wow, loving this reverse BetterPress. Just amazing. And then you continue with this beautiful floral die that in reality makes a very flat card. So this is great for mailing. If you're trying to budget out mailing cards to folks, go for things that give the impact but lay flat. Once you start popping up everything, that's your postage. So this gives you a lot of wow and pop without lots of height. I did pop this up, but you don't have to. You can keep it super flat, super low. You can take out this, put on that sentiment straight on. Your card is still, well, this is popped up too, actually. I did pop up this base off of my card base, but you don't have to do all of that. You're going to get a lot of impact, but you can keep your card 2D for shipping, okay? Until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.